ASL Season 2, Challenger League Round of 16.
And Aldaris still trying to plug his team out there. He is the owner of Ally Esports. They now have Ruff on their team.
Ooh, the mild-mannered Ruff.
Yeah, the very mild-mannered Ruff.
Yeah.
So they picked him up right after the the IBB kickoff or whoever he was with. But
yeah.
It
was after he saved a busload of grandmothers.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Helped them
all across the street, one by one.
Yeah.
One by one across the streets to like some sort of casino. Because elderly people love that. And on the top right-hand corner of the map, we have from Triple T. It is a green Zerg player. It is
Zaratul.
And down here in the bottom left, from the team Alloy Esports, we do have
Aldaris.
And right off the bat, we see a hatch burst coming out from Aldaris, or sorry, Zaratul. Wow.
Yeah.
Aldaris, that'd be really impressive if he could hatch burst.
If you do that, yeah. See, it is confusing to have Zaratul because you think that's a name and you automatically assume that will be the Protoss. It is not the Protoss whatsoever. Aldaris doesn't seem to like the initial wall off. He did this in the last game as well, where he built his first buildings by the Nexus, but then walls off. So you kind of leave a little window where maybe you're vulnerable to it, but he kind of knows from the scouting he's not in this case anyway, because the pool is only halfway done.
And we do see Zaratul pulling 3 drones to try and deal with any potential cannon rush, but he has scouted and he knows it's a gateway first, so
yeah, kind of
slight overreaction.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just possibly the nerves.
Yeah, Aldaris is going up. He's got like over 500 minerals now. He's no cyber core, but there's one coming now. I'm wondering if he's planning to expand right behind us. He does have the ability to.
I think he should do that right away, having seen the hatch burst.
Yeah, he should know that he's got some time to do it. So maybe shall.
Oh, Zaratul does get into the base.
Yeah,
sneaks by that probe and zealot.
Yeah, double sneakiness. We'll get in and see the timing on the second gas. The drone does fall though to carelessness. His party hat tumbling to the ground.
And the walls come tumbling down.
This drone ain't going nowhere.
Oof.
Son
followed it all the way back to the base.
Yeah, and here comes the Nexus. Finally there now.
And a fast third base.
Yeah.
Zaratul.
I like this decision by Zaratul. One thing that you could probably pick up from Aldaris' games so far is that there's no fast aggression out of him.
Exactly.
And he's got really a good idea of what was in that base. It looked like he was going to be attacking. Yeah, exactly. So knows that he's in no threat anytime soon, and he's going to have the overlords in place to try and get a peek on what is going on, specifically checking for the Nexus timing there.
He does see it with both the overlord and a Zergling. Yep. He is going to lose that lane, but not a big deal.
Yeah, that'll be all right. One thing missing here from Aldaris, and he's done this in a few games, is the really delayed Mothership Core. It's such a crucial early unit, particularly against anyone, but Zerg as well, where they could just kind of shift their whole production on a dime. That
exactly, especially with 3 hatch.
Yeah, exactly. They can just say they can take that third base and then lead you to believe that that's for macro things, but it's not for macro things at all. It's for ling things.
Nesty did it in a game. He made 13 drones off 3 hatch and slow ling all in someone and just won.
Yeah,
I want to say it was versus Seed maybe, or possibly First, but it was a high level Protoss player, like a Code S level Protoss.
Yeah, if there's just so much, then eventually you can just die to it, whether it's fast or not. It's going to be double Evo for Zaratul up in the main base and conversion to layer right away as well. He did take his first 2 gases in the natural, and then, it's this here, Roach Wine.
We do see right off the bat, Zaratul has a pretty tight build constructed. Not floating a ton of money, getting his gases at good timings. Nice play from Zaratul. And
a little bit of
Aldaris
harassment at the 3rd here, but it's repelled easily enough.
Yeah, not too much lost on either side. And Zaratul is going for a double Void Ray production.
Yeah, and this could, if there is a lot of coming to the Roach, Aldaris doing it. The Roaches could be coming out here, and obviously Void Ray is pretty good against those, given that they do have the bonus versus armor, so they can kind of roast Roaches pretty quickly.
Oh, very quickly. They are extremely strong against Roaches.
So hopefully Zaratul kind of has to get some hint about that. He did lose the Overlord that was at the natural, so can't really see anything here. He's got an Overlord that he's already wrapped all the way around to the back of the natural base, which I like. So he can send them in to scout at some point, and it almost feels like now might be the time to do that. Either that or convert it to an Overseer and try and drop a sneaky little changeline. And we got double Hydro.
Sorry, go on.
Double Hydro Tap.
Ooh, we've seen actually TLO has done this before. Gets both upgrades at once, and we see Zaratul going for that.
Yeah.
And it is indicative of obviously a fast push, because you spend that money to get both upgrades at once.
And here comes
we'll see if that's what's going to be gone for. And we do see 3 Stargates actually out of the Protoss player.
And the Overlord will get in and spot these, also get to spot what is actually being built. Of course, it is Void Rays this time around, not the carriers. So Hydras can be effective there, particularly with the upgrades. 1-1's going to complete, the range and Hydra speed are going to complete. And given the speed at which he's done this, you got to assume he's planning to hit an actual timing.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. And we do see Groove Spines 1-1 and Muscular Augments are all almost done. Just waiting on that Hydra speed upgrade. And this is going to put him in a great position to deny that 3rd.
Yeah, he's got a 50 supply lead at this point. A lot of Lings, which are going to be able to just keep Zealots and Stalkers away from the front. And there may just not be enough Void Rays here at all. He did luckily avoid a lot of Roaches. I was worried he's going to make a lot of Roaches, and he's actually made none, despite getting the Roach Wine. So he was able to read that correctly and avoid it.
Yeah, just a defensive Roach Warren against any sort of gateway attacks. It can be a really good idea to get that.
I'm streaming here now. There are no sentries or anything to stop this.
Could time warp.
Right on top of the Hydras. Yeah, with everything right under this. Yeah, the Mothership Core will fall behind that, and the Photon Overcharge is going to end up being so soaked up on the Lings that it's just not going to matter.
Yeah, there's just so much here from the Zerg player.
Yeah,
and hitting before he can transition into Mass Carrier. It's a good job by Zaratul.
Yeah, saw the similar play and knew that he had to hit before this got out of control. Lings, the Hydras are ultimately cleaned up here. He's going to reinforce, instead of stream them in 1 by 1, kind of pull back and reinforce, but the Lings are still just in the mineral line. And the Void Rays will eventually kill them because they can't shoot up, but it takes so long to
wreaking havoc on these probes right now. And
this 22 works dead.
Despite that being cleaned up, it's now a 70 supply lead for the Zerg player, and the Protoss is going to be really hard pressed to hold off these Hydras coming in. Even just the Zerglings alone would be tough to deal with because there's no ground army to distract them from the probes. No Photon Overcharge.
Basically, I love what he's doing here. This is like next level for Zaratul. He's actually bringing in more Overlords, and he's almost doing that sort of, it's not in a perfect line, but he's doing that creep highway type of thing. These Hydras just going to clean up these Void Rays, and as they do die, the Nexus will fall, and there's just no defense left whatsoever for Aldaris.
Yeah, Zaratul was definitely watching the previous series, I think, and came in totally prepared with a counter strategy, if you will. Grabbing those quick 1/1 upgrades, quick layer, and he's just going to destroy all of these Stargates. And yeah, I think it's safe to say Aldaris is going to have a really tough time holding this off.
I think that's more than fair.
I would go so far as to say I would bet dollars on it.
At this juncture, I see very little recourse for his opponent. He's got 2 Void Rays out on the map. They are diligently attacking the 4th base.
Yeah, and it might even go down before all these Hydras just destroy it. And by that I mean it will almost be at half health.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally.
Oh, will it get down to half? Nope, not even down to half health.
What's up? Yeah, Hydra saying what up? And Aldaris does GG out as he drops to 4 supply.
And welcome to this game here on Star Station.
Yeah. Tournament.
And looks like we have Y in the top left. Who could this be? From Alloy Esports, it's
Aldaris.
And down here on the bottom right-hand side, we have from Triple T trying to eliminate what we call here the Triple T curse, although they've been doing better this season. It is Triple T's Zerg player.
Zaratul.
And right away we do see a hatch first coming out from Zaratul.
Good. I like so.
Going for that early greed again. And it looks like we might see a Nexus first from Aldaris.
This I like it. I prefer the pylon to be on the low ground since he's doing it, but this is still fine. Because his opponent's not doing a pull first, then he'll still be alright. But yeah, usually you do put that there first.
Well, it all depends. If you want to follow it up with a gateway, it's a little bit safer to put your pylon in your main. If you want to follow it up with a forge, it's obviously safer to put it at the natural.
Yeah.
But you're still going to be a little bit exposed to early pulls regardless, going for that Nexus first.
Yeah. But you often get the pylon down 9 scout, and then you've seen before you decide. But,
exactly.
This isn't the case here, and it will be a gateway on the low. And double gas, actually.
Ooh, this is very Hitman-esque to go for the late scout Nexus first double gas.
Yeah.
Now, if he's really following it up like Hitman, he'll go for a 7-gate. Actually, no, he wouldn't have gotten a 2nd gas. He would have gone 7-gate, 1 gas.
Yeah, usually you would.
With the first scout being that Zealot Mothership Core Stalker showing up at his opponent's natural. Of course, Hitman known for his early aggression.
Yes, definitely.
Aldaris, not so much, going for the pylon block at the 3rd.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. I mean, you don't usually see that on a 3rd base as much as obviously you do in a natural. The other thing he tends to do a bit on the later side is for a gateway first, he's so late getting the cyber core down in every game that it actually really removes the threat of an early attack.
Yes.
Because it's literally almost a minute late to put it down from when he could afford to put it down. So, a Zerg seeing that would be like, okay, I don't have to worry anything till like 7-8 minutes.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that I find Protoss that it's such a small, or it feels like such a small difference, but there's so many things that can slow down a build for a Protoss player, and that really can make the difference between gold and platinum or platinum and diamond.
Yeah, for sure.
Just little, it feels like little things, but it's timings are really important, especially for Protoss.
Absolutely, because even if you just look at things like a mist drone or a 5-second supply block or something, look at that and then compare it to where your warp gate finishes or something like that, and then consider that a 40-second delay on your warp gate is 4 units that you don't have.
Exactly.
That win a game or lose a game. It really does make a big difference. I mean, for all races, but particularly where that timing is so critical, the warp gate timing, that's where a lot of people win and lose.
Yep.
And it's going to be a Twilight Council, so I think you may be right that get potential DTs coming out.
Oh, we actually see Charge first.
Yeah.
Now he still does have money for a DT shrine, but
Yep.
maybe listening and thinking. Oh, actually, on the other side though.
Yeah, we got Roaches on the way.
Yeah, going for a basically a Roachling all in.
Yeah, and this time we do at least have a Mothership core out. The Forge is there, but there's actually no cannon defending. And
Yeah,
one
he needs
thing
like
that's
3 or 4 cannons.
Yeah, another thing that's been missing from Aldaris this entire night is sentries. He doesn't make sentries. And
it's
you can't defend
smart
with
of
just this.
Zaratul to notice that.
Yeah.
Gonna have enough energy for Photon Overcharge shortly, but this is just so many units.
Oh, he could just run into the main. He has to pick which base to do it, and he's just going to ignore this. And go in.
He even actually, if he'd focused that pylon, he could have stopped the warp gate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think he didn't realize probably how close it was.
No. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, charge is going. That doesn't matter anymore. And yeah, this main base is just his to do with as he pleases.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Zaratul. Well, I don't even think it. I would quit StarCraft if Zaratul loses from this position. It's just the world would not make sense to me anymore.
Yeah.
Dark Shrine is going down, by the way, right next to the Nexus that's dying.
Wow.
Or one of the Nexuses.
Inevitably, I'll eventually be right.
Yeah.
That's
how it works.
That's how this game works, and that's how the life works.
Mm-hmm.
This life.
Yeah.
And we might actually
that Warpgate is done, and he's still chronoing out a Stalker.
Yeah.
That's not generally where you want to be. Aldaris apparently likes to stay in these games a bit because the Stalker and Mothership Core are totally going.
He's finally turning it into a warp gate.
Oh, there you go.
And he's gonna micro this Stalker.
It didn't quite make it into a warp gate.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
It's a 10 of 10.
I know. I hate that. Why? Round down.
So sad.
So I'm not sure why Aldaris is making him kill all the buildings, but he is. And yeah, just another good. I mean, I guess to focus on the good in this game, Zaratul again just hit a brutal timing based on information. And that's the thing I like about both of these. This isn't just an all-in or something he did. These were both very based on what he saw, both in Aldaris' previous games and in the game he was currently playing. And they both perfectly matched what was happening.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
he's gonna just make him kill the last building, I guess.
Yeah.
He's even hiding
anti-air.
Anti-air.
I don't think it matters.
I don't know.
He can see.
He doesn't have.
He's asking frantically as though that's going to affect the game.
Yeah.
And Zaratul knows that this is actually just going to
end
the game.
Yeah, that's a little.